So first I'm going to be spraying my face with some setting spray, and then after that I'm going to be moving on to my face primer, which is by e.l.f. I'm also going to be applying the same primer on my under eyes as well, whatever's left on my hand basically. Then for my foundation, I'm going to be using this one by K Beauty. I'm going to take half a pump and I'm going to be pumping it out on this palette and then spreading it all over my face, and using a brush I'm going to blend it all out. Then moving on to concealer, I'm taking a concealer shade to not only conceal but also to highlight, and I'm going to be applying it to my usual places, and then I'm going to be using my finger to spread it all out, and I'm just going to let that concealer sit on my face for a while. So while I let my concealer to sit on my face, I'm going to be moving on to my eyes, taking whatever foundation is left on the palette, and I'm just going to apply a very thin layer all over my eyelid. Then I'm going to be dipping onto my Colourpop palette. I haven't used this palette in quite a while, and I'm going to be taking that neutral brown shade from the palette, and I'm going to start applying that shade all over my crease. So I'm starting from my outer corner, and then whatever's left on my brush is what I'm going to be applying it on my inner corner. Okay, so this makeup tutorial is all over the place because I had very little time to get ready. So once I was done applying my crease shade, I moved on to my concealer because it was sitting on my face for a good 2 minutes now. And using my PAC concealer brush, I'm going to be blending out my concealer. So the initial blending of the concealer, I'm going to be using the PAC brush, and then I'm going to be moving on to my foundation brush and just diffuse any harsh lines. Okay, so if you're wondering what I was looking at, I was actually listening to a true crime story, and there was a part in it which actually caught my attention, so I was like, really into it. Once I was done blending my concealer, it was time to set it in place, and I used my Mars setting powder. This one I've been loving recently. It is so good. This is in the shade Brightening. So I'm going a little heavy-handed with the powder. I'm not baking per se, but just going a little heavy-handed. I'm gonna dust it all off, don't worry. And I'm gonna be setting only my concealer in place with this powder. Okay, so powder lagane ke baad, I took a brush and then dusted off any excess powder that I had on my face. And then I moved on to my eyes again. So I took the same shade that I used on my crease on a detailed blending brush, and I applied it on my lower lash line. So I applied this eyeshadow only on the outer 1/3 of my eyes. Wow, that was such a tongue twister. Here I'm dipping onto this slightly darker brown shade, and I'm going to be applying it on my outer corner. First I'm going to be focusing it on my outer corner, as you guys can see, and then whatever product is left on the brush is what I'm going to be applying it slightly on my crease to give a little bit more definition. I also applied the same eyeshadow on my lower lash line, kind of like what I did with the previous shade as well. So usually I wouldn't have done so much mehnat to get ready, but the party was somewhere else. It was in South Delhi. So jinka birthday tha, they booked a place, and we all were invited. There were a lot of people. I think there were around 18 people. So I wanted to make sure that I looked cute. So isliye thodi bahut mehnat karni padi mujhe. Then I took this matte bone shade and I applied it sort of like a semi-cut crease, but not actually having to do all that tam cham of using a concealer and then cutting my crease. Then I dipped into the darkest brown shade from the same palette, and I used that to create a wing liner. I wanted my wing liner to connect with my lower lash line, so that's what you're seeing me do here. And just like that, the eyes are done, and with the power of editing, I have my false lashes on. I am using this one by Mars. Moving on to my base, I'm going to be using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer to bronze and contour my face at the same time. I also use this to contour my nose because we were going to click a lot of pictures and I wanted my nose to look somewhat snatched. So that's why I'm doing this step. Then for blush, I used this one by K Beauty. I was gonna rock a pink lip to kind of match my outfit, so I wanted to, incorporate more pink into this look without actually having to use a pink eyeshadow. So the next best option was to use like a pinky toned blush. Then moving on to highlighter, I am using this one by Swiss Beauty. You guys, I'm still obsessed with this highlighter. Ever since I've used this highlighter, I cannot use any other highlighter. Like, trust me, this is the best in the market. Used it all over my face. I mean, not all over my face, just the usual areas which I like to highlight, and also my brow bone. So the base is pretty much done. Now last step is to do my lips, and I'm going to be using a liquid lipstick, and I'm not being too precise here because I am going to clean up and overline my lips using this new lip liner by Swiss Beauty. This is also really good. And I'm so sorry you guys pretty much can't see what I'm doing here, but just imagine me doing my lips, you know, I mean not doing my lips, lining my lips. And then I spritzed my face one last time with the setting spray, and that's all for this makeup look. I put on my jewelry and this top by Street Style Store. I do not have a video of my entire outfit, but here's a picture of what it looks like. I have attached a few pictures of last night and it was really fun. I love the way my makeup looked, and I also love the way that it photographed. And yeah, that's all for this video, you guys. Bye.